What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is big. This new bill that was just introduced today is going to be big. While we wait for an additional $1,400 stimulus check, while we wait for more unemployment benefits, state and local government funding, additional child tax credits, small business relief, while we wait for all those things, we are getting closer to seeing a federal minimum wage increase of $15 per hour. This new minimum wage is going to help out millions and millions of Americans. For all those people that are currently making less than $15 per hour, this is going to really help you out. Now, one of the ways that many economists are currently saying that this will help out is because this is going to get and keep millions and millions of Americans out of poverty. That is big. Some economists are saying that having the government constantly step in and providing relief is not the best way to have a stable economy. So they're saying a federal minimum wage increase is a must. So in addition to other stimulus, Congress is looking at increasing the federal minimum wage from its current state of $7.25 per hour to $15 per hour in the coming years. Now, this is going to be a huge help for families. Current estimates say that for an average American worker that will receive the full $15 per hour, once this is phased in, this would equate to roughly $3,300 in additional income per year. $3,300. What if you had an additional $3,300? What would that do for you? Let me know down in the comment section below. What would an additional $3,300 per year do for you? Could you go on vacation? Could you pay for your car? Could you pay off bills? Could you actually put food on the table every single day? This $3,300 could be big. Now, this is not going to go into effect right away. This is going to be phased in over a handful of years. And I'm going to explain this in just a second. So, let's first address exactly how this bill, it's called Raise the Wage Act. This is how this is written. First, the initial increase in wages will begin effective immediately. Now, when I say immediately, we do not have a date. Here's the reason why. This bill has to pass through the House, then it has to be kicked over to the Senate and passed through the Senate with a 60 vote majority. Then it goes to President Biden's desk. He signs it, and then it becomes law. Then, as soon as those three things happen, then the official minimum wage will increase to $9.50 per hour. But what you need to keep in mind is that currently this is a separate bill. However, Congress is looking to attach this bill to the $1.9 trillion government, or that $1.9 trillion stimulus package that President Biden is currently proposing. So just keep in mind, this could pass on its own. However, that's not what's looking like it's going to happen. The most likely option, the most likely scenario moving forward is that this bill gets attached to the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Now, when does that happen? Most are expecting the minimum wage will effectively be increased to $9.50. This will most likely happen sometime in March, but possibly in April. April 1st is currently what's being expected as the start date. So this is going to be huge for workers, for small business owners that currently pay $7.25 per hour or less than $9.50 per hour to their employees. You will most likely have to pay this come April 1st. So just expect that at this time. Now, here's how this scales and gets phased in. First, it's $9.50. That will be in effect for 1 year. 1 year after the initial date, the initial start date. So if it's April 1st, 2021, 1 year after, so April 1st, 2022, we would see a federal minimum wage increase of $11 per hour. Then 2 years later, so on April 1st, 2023, we would go to $12.50. Then 3 years later, then it would go to $14. And then finally, 4 years later, in 2024, we would finally be at $15 per hour. So just expect April is going to be a big month if you currently make less than the federal minimum wage. or you make the federal minimum wage. If you make less than $9.50, April 1st might be a very joyous day for you. And in addition to this, what they are currently saying, what is written in this bill, again, it's not a huge bill, but it's the wording is somewhat complex. So let me just break this down for you. After 4 years, so beginning of year 5, what is said in this bill is they are going to keep up with the median wage increases. So as wages, the median wage increases, so will the federal minimum wage. This way, it will not be stagnant. According to, I believe, The Hill or The Guardian, they are saying that the federal minimum wage has not moved from $7.25 since 2009. That was when President Obama and Vice President Biden were in office. So we will see what happens, but this is what we know. This is going to be huge for many workers, especially those in the South that are currently making less than $10 per hour and are only making the federal minimum wage of $7.25 per hour. According to a recent study, 1 in every 9 full-time workers gets paid wages that keep them in poverty. Think about that. 1 out of every 9 full-time workers, even though they work a full-time job, get paid federal minimum wage, they will be stuck in poverty for the rest of their lives simply because the minimum wage is so low. And according to the Economic Policy Institute, they are saying that the Raise the Wage Act will increase wages to roughly 32 million Americans. 32 million. We are sitting about, 18, 19 million people are currently on unemployment, some form of unemployment. And so 32 million people are going to see an increase in their wages. Many of these people, the report is saying, are women, teens, elderly, blacks, and Latinos. Reports indicate that roughly 60% of the minimum wage workers are women, so this is definitely going to help. Many reports indicate that this one change is going to accelerate the economic recovery and help narrow the wealth gap. Let me just put this into perspective for you. The other day we got a report stating that 8.1 million Americans, in addition to the ones that were already in poverty, fell into poverty during this pandemic. During that exact same time, the 614 billionaires that we have in the United States, they grew their net worth roughly $931 billion. So, the richest people in our country, they grew almost $1 trillion in a net worth. This includes Amazon's Jeff Bezos, Microsoft's Bill Gates. This includes Tesla's Elon Musk, and so on. Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg. The list goes on and on. So they grew their net worth about $931 billion, while at the same time, 8.1 million Americans fell into poverty. That is what this report is saying, is this is what's going to help narrow the wealth gap. By providing, it might take some money to pay. Amazon might have to pay their employees more. So be it. Tesla might have to pay their employees more. So be it. Microsoft, Facebook might have to pay their employees more. Granted, most of these companies are paying more than $15 per hour. So this right here is not really going to affect those companies. But if every other company starts raising their wages, guess what? Amazon, Tesla, Microsoft, and Facebook all have to do. And just throw in Google. Every single one of them will have to raise their wages as well. So what we are hearing is this is going to really narrow the wealth gap. And this is going to help out millions of people and will help make the economy a little more consistent, a little more stable, which is what we need. So here's what we can expect. We can expect that the federal minimum wage increase will happen at some point. This is a priority for President Biden. This is a priority for Democrats. This has been a priority for years. However, right now we have a Democrat in the Oval Office. We have Democrats holding the majority in the House. And now we have a Senate that is, technically it's tied, but the majority is technically going to Democrats. So what we know is this will happen. There's a chance this could happen and be passed through a budget reconciliation, which is currently being looked into. But currently the rules on this are still very unclear. We do not know. According to some representatives and senators, they say this can't be done. Even Democratic senators and Democratic representatives are saying this cannot be done with the current rules of the budget reconciliation. But then you have people like Bernie Sanders and his staff saying, no, it can be done. We can do this. We can do it through a budget reconciliation. So right now, we don't know the exact details of this. But again, it comes down to how this entire bill is written. So we should have more information on this. As we do, I promise I'll come back and share that information with you. So consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. Again, thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.